Hello viewers, I'm Rohit Khurana, your host on Intellect Digest, and today we have with us the LG G2, which is a popular smartphone from LG. This is one of the latest flagship smartphones from LG, and the latest one that is making a lot of noise is the LG Google Nexus 5, which is not much difference from the LG G2 in reality, because when it comes to chipset, processor and the performance capabilities, the LG Nexus 5 is very close to the LG G2. In this video, I'm going to give you a detailed review of the LG G2. I'm going to play some games. I'm going to show you some benchmark scores. I'm talking about the display, graphics quality, build quality, special features of the LG G2, and we'll also talk in brief about what is different in the Google Nexus 5 compared to an LG G2. Let's get started. Starting with the build quality and the form factor, the LG G2 has a 5.2-inch high definition or full high definition display here, and as you can see, the bezels are really slim. The width of this phone is really slim. As you can see, there are very small bezels both on the top as well as on the sides, which gives it a very compact form factor besides being a large 5.2-inch display. Most of the phone is actually the display that you can see here. To do away with some extra sides, LG has very intelligently placed the keys at the back. So you have a power or wake up key at the back and a volume rocker, which is just under the camera module. This is a very interesting and intelligent placement. As you can see, the index finger can easily reach here while you have the phone in your hand. And interesting thing is that you only need to tap it only for locking the phone. To unlock the phone, you can just double tap on the screen and it will come up. You don't need to reach out to the lock button to actually unlock the phone. It feels really nice and slim and feels very rich, as there is nothing on the sides. It is very plain and very nice. There is a metallic lining running all over, and there is a SIM card tray right here. You need to insert a pin inside this pinhole and the SIM card tray comes out. It accepts a micro SIM. On the top you can see a secondary mic hole for noise cancellation, and there is a small infrared blaster just here. You can't see it very clearly because this is a black version. On the white one it is really pronounced. The back has a 13 megapixel camera module. This is autofocus with LED flash, and these are the buttons, all the three buttons that you get on this phone. On the bottom you get the speaker mesh, which is again nicely placed. This is front firing, so if you keep it on the table, the speakers don't get muffled like in conventional speakers which are at the back of the phones. There is a micro USB charging port for charging as well as data transfer, and 3.5mm standard audio jack for the audio. The thickness of this phone is not much. It is 8.9mm, and as you can see, the highest part at the rear is this hump which you can see near the power or wake up key. This is approximately 1 to 1.5mm, so the actual thickness is actually very close to 8mm and feels very slim to hold in hand. The phone is fairly handy and also lightweight at under 150 gram, 143 gram to be precise. It comes loaded with top of the line specification when it comes to the CPU, GPU, RAM, etc. I'll quickly give you a gaming performance test with Asphalt 8 Heat with the Asphalt 8 Airborne. After that we'll play the Frontline Commando, Modern Combat 4 to show you how this phone actually performs under these heavy games. The Asphalt 8 Airborne is the latest version of the Asphalt gaming series, and it is fairly demanding when it comes to graphics. So let me quickly give you a gameplay demo and show you how the graphics are rendered. This phone has Snapdragon 800 chipset, 2.26 GHz quad-core CPU, which is top of the line, has Adreno 330 GPU, which is very impressive when it comes to graphics. We find similar configuration on the LG Google Nexus 5 as well. There is no stutter in graphic, as you can see. The detailing is very nice, and as you can see, the gameplay experience is very impressive. We find similar specification on a lot of flagship devices like the Sony Xperia Z1, the LG Google Nexus 5, the LG G2, and a couple of more phones that we have recently tested with the Snapdragon 800 chipset using a 2.2 to 2.3 GHz Snapdragon processor. After the Asphalt 8, let's try the Modern Combat 4, which is another graphics heavy game and runs really smooth on the LG G2. This display is very vibrant. This is LCD IPS display, and you can see from steep viewing angles you can still see the colors and there is no fading at all. It looks very stunning when it comes to gaming performance, as well as the graphics processing unit. The GPU Adreno 330 is also doing a wonderful job on the LG G2. The touchscreen is very responsive and it is butter smooth. As you can see, it's very easy to have gameplay control on this device. There is no problem whatsoever, and the gaming performance is very smooth. Even with the heavy graphic games like the Modern Combat 4, we are able to play it very well and very easily. Let's jump to our next game, which is the Dead Trigger 2, which is the new version of the Dead Trigger. Let me give you a demo of how it plays on the LG G2. The graphics are rendering really smooth, and as you can see, the detailings all around the game are really well. The rendering is really superb. It's very smooth. The GPU, CPU are together doing a very good job in sync. And in this game we have to combat with our hands with these tools that we have here. We'll soon get some guns in the game, and we have a set of zombies and we just pick up a gun. Let's kill some of these zombies. And our mission is completed. This game is really interesting, and with LG G2, game playing experience is real fun. Let me quickly show you the benchmarks on this phone. And LG G2 is one of the most loaded phones that we have tested so far. Lots of application running in the background, and still there is no problem with gameplay or overall performance or responsiveness of the phone. On Antutu, we got a score of 35,991, which is one of the highest that we have seen so far on any phone. This is the kind of optimization that LG has done on the G2, and it comes very close to LG Nexus 5 when it comes to performance and hardware level. It uses a quad-core ARM V7 processor, Adreno 330 GPU. The display resolution it shows here is 1080 by 1776. Some part of the screen is used by these buttons, so that is why you don't see 1920 here, which should be there. The RAM this device has is 2 GB, and it has an internal memory of 32 GB. You also get a 16 GB variant, so you get two variants, 32 GB and 16 GB. There are a whole load of sensors that come loaded on the LG G2, including the direction G sensor, proximity sensor, light sensor, compass sensor, distance sensor, linear acceleration, and rotation vector sensor. So it is fairly loaded when it comes to gaming, so you can use the gyroscope, etc. I'll also show you the graphics benchmarking we did with the Nina Mark II graphics benchmarking tool, and we got a score of 59.0 frames per second at full high definition display resolution with Adreno 330 GPU, which is fairly impressive. So throw any kind of game at it and it will be able to play. We have just given you demonstration of Asphalt 8 Heat, Dead Trigger 2 and the Modern Combat 4. So virtually you can play all sort of games that you have available on the Play Store on the LG G2, so it is kind of unbeatable in that respect. It also gets Gorilla Glass 2 protection, so you need not be worried about the scratches, and it has nice smooth edges, so from edge to edge you can easily scroll without touching any sharp edges. Everything is nicely rounded, and the Gorilla Glass 2 gives it the kind of protection that you would want from a high-end smartphone. Coming to the camera application, it does not disappoint us at all. With 13 megapixel rear facing camera, it takes some really good pictures. We have tried our hands on it by taking some close-up shots and some general shots, and the clarity in the pictures is just amazing. The kind of clarity and the focus which this camera is capable of providing is among the best that we have seen. This is a picture of a keychain placed on a textured surface, and as you can see the very clear details of the surface. Even at full zoom you can see the edges of metal very closely. You can see the detailing of every part of this picture with perfect lighting. So LG G2 does return very good results when it comes to rear facing camera. There is a 2.1 megapixel front facing camera which is good for high definition video conferencing and video calling. When it comes to camera application, you can do some really interesting stuff with the LG G2. It comes with optical image stabilization, audio zoom feature in which you can actually zoom at the part of the image where the audio is coming from. So if you zoom into the image, the audio will also be picked up from that location. It supports full high definition videos not only in 30 frames but also super smooth videos at 60 frames per second. So there is a lot of settings that you can do: the brightness, white balance, color effects, geotagging, volume key recording functionality, a lot of features that you get in the camera. When we move it to the still mode, you also get a lot more features like the voice shutter, in which you can say cheese and it will focus. You can select between autofocus, manual focus. You can select between various image sizes, geotagging, ISO control, white balance control, timer, shutter sound, volume key capture, etc. So there are a lot of modes that you have in here, and you can quickly switch between still and video camera by moving this toggle which is provided right here. You also get a lot of shooting modes. So just click on the mode button here in the camera application. You get the normal mode, live effect mode, dual recording mode, in which you can take a picture with both front camera and rear camera simultaneously. So this is the front camera and this is the rear camera. So let me place an object, and this is the front camera, and I take a video with dual shot, and I can also take stills with dual shot. So I'll just stop this video, go to the still image and go to mode. In stills you get a lot of modes like the normal mode, short and clear, in which you can remove the rear objects which are moving objects or unwanted objects in the picture. You can shoot in HDR mode, panorama, internal panorama, burst shot mode, beauty shot, dual camera, time catch shot, in which it takes multiple shots and combines it together in one frame, something like the drama shot that we have seen on the Samsung series, intelligent audio shot, sport shot and night shot. In dual camera mode you can take pictures from the front camera as well as rear camera at the same time. So we have these two objects in the frame and we take a click and here we have it. So this is a dual shot camera. You can see me behind the camera here and some object which is lying in front of the camera, and the clarity of the picture is really good. So we have talked about the gaming benchmark performance. Let's talk about the video playback quality. The full high definition display of the LG G2 is really impressive when it comes to video playback. Let me play a video from our YouTube channel.
Hi there, I'm host on Intellect, and in this video I am going to give you a brief of what you can expect from us in the month of November 2013. We have a lot of gadgets lined.
As you can see, the video playback in high definition is very good. Let me turn the volume to maximum so that you can also judge the kind of loudness that this phone has on the offer.
Up for review this month, and it is going to be an exciting few weeks for us reviewing all these. We have a lot of gadgets. Let me give you a preview. Starting with some of the...
So the video playback is really impressive. We also tested the supplied earphones for FM radio and music playback on the LG G2. The supplied earphones come with 3.5mm standard jack, so you can connect it using any other standard jack if you want. And here you have an inline microphone with volume control. So there is a headset which is supplied. The in the ear earphones provide good bass and treble, are nicely finished in metal. These are fairly loud and give good audio quality and come with anti-tangle flat cables, as you can see here. So the quality of earphones and the quality of audio that this phone is able to provide on the earphones is really nice. And one thing worth mentioning is that it comes with FM radio, which is missing in the LG Google Nexus 5 and many other smartphones which are high end. FM radio is one feature which many users appreciate like me, and I personally find it to be very useful. There is another very interesting feature which is quick remote, so I can use it to control my televisions air conditioners, set-top box, home theater system, etc. from my phone itself. I don't need to hunt for remotes, so I can combine multiple remotes. There is an infrared blaster right here which gives it the functionality along with the software that is loaded on this phone. Speaking of the software and features, the LG G2 is powered by Android Jelly Bean 4.2.2 right out of the box, and the future updates will be rolled out gradually. The LG Google Nexus 5 will come directly with 4.4 KitKat version, and we expect that KitKat will also be rolled out for the LG G2. The LG G2 comes with the LG UI, which is very fast and breezy. It looks very different from what you see on Google Nexus series devices. There is Q slide, which gives you pop-up window kind of functionality in which you can run multiple applications in different levels of transparency. These applications can stay on top, you can maximize them or you can move them if you want, and there are multiple applications which are supported with the Q slide. For example, memo application, in which you can actually take memos from wherever you are and you can quickly type something and go back to the other application, make some calculations. You have a calculator right here which is again in different transparency. You have your memo right here on the screen, so you can actually do real multitasking with these Q slide applications, which give you some pop-up like effect, and multiple applications run with the background remaining unaffected from these pop-up applications. Something I really appreciate about the LG G2 is its snappiness. Let me quickly show you. So I just open one application, I click on the home button, I click on the apps, I open another application, I click on home button, I open another application, I click on home button, apps, and it does not fail to respond anytime. I open the Internet Explorer, it opens. I open any game or gallery, it opens. It does not delay, it does not give me any sort of lag. Whatever kind of applications I do, the software optimization has been done really nice on the LG G2. Also, talking about the battery, it is powered by a large 3000 mAh battery, which is a lithium polymer battery. The profile of the phone is slightly curved and they have packed the battery really nicely in this under 9mm profile. A 3000 mAh battery is very close to what you get on the Samsung Galaxy Note 2 or Note 3 or Sony Xperia Z1, but this is much more compact and feels much lighter. Being a lithium polymer battery, it is definitely better than the lithium ion batteries in terms of longevity and overall usage and charging cycles. At a price of under 40,000 rupees, the top of the line specifications and features that you get on LG G2 are really unparalleled. The kind of feel that it gives you and kind of compactness that it has on the offer is really commendable. Comparing the LG G2 with the Nexus 5, you have some major features like the software functionality on the LG G2 compared to the LG Google Nexus 5 is very different. The 4.4 KitKat is vanilla Android that you get on the LG Nexus 5 without any touches on the software interface by LG. There is a lot of difference in the form factor as well, that is more slim and that is light and has a smaller battery of 2300 mAh compared to 3000 mAh battery that you get on the LG G2. Overall, we find LG G2 a very good value for money. I'll also show you some of the accessories that you can buy with it. A very interesting accessory that we have here is the smart cover. This cover actually improves the functionality of the phone. You just place it here and there is a window. This is not a glass, this is actually a see-through window. When you close this cover, there is a magnetic sensor which locks the phone, but when you double tap here, you will see a small display which comes alive, which gives you music player or different digital clocks as well as weather updates. You can straight away play some music right from here without opening the phone at all. You can just lock it by tapping here, or you can just double tap here to lock it. This is a small window which is very good for accessing the phone quickly. You can accept or reject calls directly from this window. And another good thing about this window is that once you open the flap cover, this is a magnetic cover, it unlocks the phone automatically, so you don't need to reach out to the back power or wake up key, or you don't even need to double tap. It identifies when it is closed or when it is opened and changes the display accordingly. It gives nice textured front and matches the back texture perfectly, and the cutouts are perfectly matched. It does not hide any sort of ports, so it does not restrict your functionality and does not feel very bulky. This is a very nice accessory if you are looking for LG G2. Besides this, the phone itself gives a very good value for money. I find it really good, and it is a recommended device if you are looking for a high-end smartphone in a price segment of 40,000 rupees or $700. This is all we have for you on a detailed review of the LG G2 and a quick comparison with the LG Google Nexus 5 based on the specifications. We hope you like this video. Don't forget to press the like button below. If you don't want to miss out on our upcoming videos, stay subscribed by pressing the subscribe button. We'll review the LG Google Nexus 5 very soon as we get our hands on it. So stay tuned to Intellect Digest by pressing the subscribe button. This is your host Rohit Khurana signing off. Thanks for watching.